is not a beer drinker here. Okay, so you meet me afterwards. So we would like to understand what we can do to convert you over, okay? So guys, my name is Ravi Sharma, as you guys heard. I think today's theme is about startup social, right? Before I get into that, Lakshmi, Ing Talks, thank you very much for having me here. And I'm excited to see a crowd which is much younger than I am. So I need to feel your energy, okay guys? So today, the theme is about entrepreneurship. It's labeled as startup social. Why am I here? I work for a company that is world's largest beer company. We are the iPhone of the beer industry. 7 out of top 10 brands in the world, they are ours. Entrepreneurship is not limited to a startup sitting somewhere in the garage, either in Bangalore or in Silicon Valley. Entrepreneurship is not limited to a totally new idea outside a large company. So, entrepreneurs compete with intrapreneurs. For me, I look at myself as an intrapreneur within ABI. And I'll take you to this journey at ABI or through ABI's experience or my experiences at world's largest beer company, how we are embracing a startup DNA to stay relevant in this very fast technology-led world. Okay? So that's the theme. And my cover slide here is, what it says here is innovation brewery. I mean, we are a brewer. I think a predecessor before me talked about how fragmented and how old school the tea industry is. So is beer industry. And we've learned from our mistakes, we've learned from our experiences, we've learned from all these startup founders that in order to stay relevant for the next 100 years, we need to operate with the DNA that you guys also have. Okay? So, quickly, this is my brief intro. I think they introduced me. One thing I want to call out here is that I report to consumer. We are chasing those consumers. That's where a lot of innovation is happening today. We all are chasing those consumers, those users for all your startup ideas too. Okay? My journey at ABI is also associated with marketplace disruption. So in quick words, my role at ABI, so I lead analytics globally for AB InBev. Think of me as a chief analytics officer for AB InBev, for a capability they didn't have 5 years ago. So my role was created by a board mandate because they thought we were so behind in this. Okay? So then we built a marketing analytics function in New York City. Then we thought it's not enough because a company like us needs to have much more than just marketing analytics. That's why we came to India and we built a full-blown COE for data science, which, by the way, in its 30 years of operation, was also voted as the top 10 data science firms to work in India. Okay? So, this is where we established this function for driving what we're calling as the data and analytics transformation of the company. Now, we sell beer. I am talking about data. We sell beer. I'm talking about technology. So, this is exactly what our company is doing to reinvent itself. And it's not possible by selling more beer. It is by embracing a startup DNA. I'm going to play you a video here. I hope it plays. It just tells you that all that I'm talking about is really not just plain speak. Does it play?
What would you like to know today?
How can you help me?
Currently, I can answer your queries related to global MROI and industry forecast programs.
How is MROI calculated?
MROI is calculated as a ratio of MICO to spend.
What is the media return on investment for US?
The MROI of US 2017 Q1 Q3 is $1.24.
What was the industry volume of Italy in 2017?
The industry volume of Italy 2017 is 15,000.
How many do you have Alexa at home? You probably have Siri on your phones, you have Google Assistant, right? We created a data layer on top of Alexa with the idea that we're going to place this digital assistant in every conference room, in every meeting room, so that when you have a question, you never have to call me. You can simply ask, what is Budweiser market share in India? And Alexa will answer. I just want to give you an idea that as a beer company, we are innovating. And an entrepreneur like me is driving that change in a large company at ABI. We also buy a lot of these cool platforms and solutions from startups like you, right? Isn't that the exit strategy? You build a platform and someone like ABI will come and buy you out for $100 million, right? We have invested and bought startups as well, okay? Now, disruption is happening everywhere. So on these three dimensions, you yourself as a consumer, beer meaning a big company like us, and then individually, what we all need to embrace in order to stay relevant with disruption through disruption, okay? So number one, consumer. We as a company or you as entrepreneurs, you should not be chasing consumers. You should be chasing targets. You should be chasing cohorts. Everybody heard about millennials? By the way, the oldest millennial is turning 40, my age soon, okay? So we as beer company, we are chasing millennials. What happened when we chased millennials? Millennials are into craft. We are not a craft company. So their choices completely disrupted us. Okay? What did we do as a company? From king of beers, we became king of craft beers by acquiring a lot of craft beers. Okay? We probably will do that in India as well. This is, take a closer look at this. This is actually digital marketing landscape. In one slide, these are the touch points I have to chase to reach you, Okay, so what did we do when we saw so much fragmentation in the marketplace? So again, we share your startup DNA. We created an in-house digital media agency. We call it La Fabrica. So now we create our own content. We actually have DMPs, digital data management platforms, and we actually target our consumers with our own technologies, okay? And this is not cheap as well. Number two, beer. That's a proxy for us as a large company, right? So as I said, if we were in a technology domain, craft revolution would have killed us. We would be BlackBerry. It's just that the change with which it was disrupting the beer industry and the global distribution advantages we had, we survived, right? If you look at this chart here, I think you all probably aspire to deliver or build brands like this. On this page, we have $16 billion brands in different markets because we have 500 brands globally. But not one of these brands is a craft brand. And as I said, in order to stay relevant, we invested. We also created an entity in the company. It's called ZX Ventures. Its whole reason for being is to chase disruptive growth. So instead of you disrupting us, we're going to invest to disrupt ourselves. Today, beer is very heavily regulated. Tomorrow, you could have a home brewing kit where every home can actually brew its own beer, we are totally out of business. So those are the markets, those are the opportunities as a company we are chasing to stay relevant so that a startup founder like you doesn't disrupt us overnight, okay? So lastly, as an individual, this is the most important one. This applies to me. This also applies to all of you guys here. So as an individual, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an entrepreneur like me, what do you need to do in order to stay relevant when there is so much disruption around you? When I say I'm an entrepreneur, my board gave me $3 million 3 years ago, go to India, build a data science function. I also raised money, like you guys did. Now, this entity is featured as top 10 data science firms to work for in India. Through these 200 data scientists, in the less than 3 years, we have already delivered solutions which have quantified impact of $600 million. So if you apply a 5 multiple in the marketplace, my valuation should be $3 billion, right? So I'm just telling you, this is how we also think, right? So as an individual, what do we need to do? I'll give you another example. I'm a programmer when I started, before I became a strategist. So my programming tools that I leveraged 12 years ago, they're not relevant today in the age of R and Python. So there's so much disruption happening around you. This also applies to you. If you don't have speed to move your idea to the market, before you even raise a single dollar, your idea is already redundant, right? So I think you heard Vani when she was talking to Lakshmi, intellectual curiosity. I mean, this is what Einstein said, and I actually look at that. This is plastered on my office wall as well. So the only thing we have as humans that separates us from machines is intellectual curiosity. Machine learning cannot have that. I will have to train it somehow. And it will always perform finite tasks that the human curiosity delivers it to be, right? So always remember we need to have that. Now, just in closing, transformations are happening all around us. You heard from Kaushal how they disrupted the tea industry. You heard from Kalari how they found mantras of the world. You heard from Shilpa how she is reimagining the concept of a restaurant, how she's reimagining Jaipur to disrupt all these industries, right? You heard from Atul, where will the mind or humans take us, right? So transformations are happening. What do we need to do? But before we go there is incremental transformation or innovation. So meaning I have a beer portfolio, I launch a new flavor. That is not going to disrupt me. There is this head-spinning innovation, which is craft. Or tomorrow it could be homebrew kit. Tomorrow someone in this crowd having that idea to disrupt even Facebook. So how do you deal with that? As an individual, as a company, as a startup, right? Make sure we have that curiosity to keep learning, to keep opening new gaps. Ideas are nothing but gaps that can be monetized to earn a profit in a startup world, right? That's what they are. Second piece, which we always follow, we have to be committed to change. We need to embrace change. Because what you also heard from Kaushal, it's more than just disruption, it's also change management. You have to rally the entire village to embrace your idea. Okay? And at ABI, we say this a lot. We believe in ownership. You know who's an owner? An owner is someone who believes in the power of the idea and will not go away. Doesn't matter how many times you have been turned down in your pitches. Okay? And lastly, commitment. You got to be committed to your idea, to this transformation. Transformations are deep. They are multi-year. They are long. They're never ending. Right? So you have to commit to your idea. You have to commit your change that you want to be, right? As a company, as an individual. And I believe if we keep doing this, I think disruption will be not as scary, as well as it will continue to be inspirational, and all those stories will continue to inspire us. Thank you very much.